Countdown.
Hi everyone, welcome to our online safety trainings. You're here because you need skills to be internet awesome. And today we're joined by our two experts, and that is Madam Clarice Bwanga and Madam Grace Irungu. Madam Clarice is a certified Google Educators Group leader, Nakuru region, and also Madam Grace is a certified Google Educators Group representing Mombasa region. Please join me in welcoming Madam Clarice. Madam Clarice, you can take us through.
Madam Clarice,
thank you very much, Marcella. Today we want to talk about keep you safe. Just as you can see what's projected on the screen, how do you keep your family safe online? So that is what we are going to discuss today, and the session is going to be very interactive. So I'll just advise you that if you have any question, please make sure that you use the chat box so that moderators will deal with the question. So thank you very much. Just as the way Marcella has said, I'm Madam Clarice, and I'll be taking you through this, how to keep your family safe. And just the reason why we are really insisting on this is because we really know how our children concentrate on the internet. Most of the time you'll find that our children really concentrate on the internet, and we are obliged to make sure that they are safe. So feel much welcome. So we want just to, the introduction part of us, I really just want to, let us discuss, we want to discuss some of the challenges we are facing as parents to deal with this digital age, because you find that modern kids have known more about the internet. So those are some of the challenges that we really want to discuss, and also find how we can deal with them. So what I'll just want, being online is part of everyday's life, and what we will try and say is that with this COVID era, you will realize that being online is something that we cannot stop doing it. We are doing virtual. Everything nowadays is virtual. Be it family gathering is done virtually, be it school work is done virtually. So we cannot really run away from being online. So we find that just the way we say that being online is part of our everyday life, it is very, very true. So what I'll ask the moderator to post for you some of the link. There's a link that you will find, and that has proved that is between 48 and 65%. Most of the time, you'll always find that we are online. So the internet is becoming more and more prevalent in our daily life of our children and our own. And that's why we really want to find how to be safe when we are online. So what do your children actually do when they're online? Yeah, so I just want you to go to the chat section, take a few minutes. What do you really think? Because we cannot run away from this. Mostly you find that you are either parenting a teenager, or you're even parenting the small kids. And just the way we have said that everything is done virtually. So you find that most of the time, you'll find that they are always online. So the question that I pose to you is that, what do you really think they do when they are online? So just go to the chat box and tell me or tell us so that we can discuss what they do when they are online. Yeah, so what I think maybe some of you most will talk of, maybe for the teenager, I will say most of them, they like gaming. Some of them like downloading maybe movies that maybe they'll watch. Some like downloading maybe those games. So automatically it's either movies, music, or even the games. At the bottom line, they are doing what we term as downloading. And others like connecting with friends. I think those are some of the information that we are getting on the chat. And also, I will also remind you that even as you are answering this question, please introduce yourself on the chat. So those are some of the things, and we really want to see how we can be able to control, because we have said we cannot really do away without the internet. So how will we be able to control this and make sure that our children are always safe online? So how do your children use the internet? So you'll find that there's that survey that was carried by the UNICEF, and that was the link will be shared on the chat section by the moderators. They say that most of the time our children, or maybe those who are under us, take 65% on the internet chatting. They take maybe 52% watching video clip, and then 53% playing online games. And remember, that was a survey that was done in October, July 2019. But the percentage can increase, because you'll realize most of them are online, and because they're this particular time that they are not going to school. So automatically the percentage might even rise and be more. So I want us to know, what are the biggest concerns you face keeping your children safe online? So I just want us, that is the major thing. We want to build how we can engage and familiarize ourselves with how do we really, what are our concerns? And then how can we address these feelings? So those are some of the things that we really want to discuss here, because we will not say that we don't have concern for our children being online. So you will find that I know we are thinking loud, because there are several. You'll find there are several things, and we have just cited some of these. And you'll realize as parents, you are not alone. These are some of the major concerns of the parents, yeah, when their children are online. And this one, you'll find that there are some things that we cannot really stop. So you'll find parents need to be more involving and engaging and educated. That is it. My children are more tech savvy than I am. Yeah, those are some of your concerns, because actually we will all agree with that. Number two, most of us, you'll find that there are sometimes when it comes to online things, there are some things that you cannot fix. But you realize that our children sometimes are able to fix for us. Yeah, so those are some of the things. People can pretend to be anyone online. Yeah, that is it. And when we say people can pretend to be anyone online, we can all agree that there's this news that is trending, whereby some young girls, teenagers, around 6 of them, they were just conned online. Yeah, it's called grooming online. They were just groomed online, and they were able to move, and the parents were really worried where their children are. So that's what we worry some people. People can pretend to be anyone online, and maybe they end up misleading our children. So that's why we are really here to find ways that we can help one another to make sure that our children are safe online. So we'll just say that technology is an amazing force of good, because we cannot say that everything that we do online is bad, and or anything that our children are doing online is bad. We cannot say that. So that is why we are saying it's amazing to use technology and we cannot run away from it, but it is very, very important for us to be sure that what we are using, the technology, or when our children are online, they are safe. Because if we can say that, we find that, and the link will be posted for that, you can go and check on this, whereby you'll find that is still about the UNICEF organization with their research on the same year, 2019. This is what they came up with. And we have all agreed that, being that our children have been home for long, the percentage can increase. We say they use 76% to do their homework and research, which is very good. Research work and studying opportunity, and we can all agree that nowadays everything is virtual. From a playgroup child, you'll find that they are given an assignment virtually. So we say that is very right. Create and upload video of their own music. And we cannot stop them from creating video, because remember, we are in the 21st century, whereby we must embrace creativity. So those are all good, but at the end of the day, we'll really want them to be safe when they're online. So I will go to the next slide, whereby I will stop from that particular point and hand over it to my co-presenter, to be able to take us through. So Grace, please take us through from that particular point. Thank you.
Maybe Madam Clarice can continue a little bit as Grace tries to sort something out on her machine.
Okay, thank you. Okay, so I will proceed. Let me share my screen once more. Okay, so just as the way I did say, we have things that we have to put into consideration to make sure that our children are safe online. And what I'm really going to talk about here, if we manage to put these 3 agendas that you are able to see on screen, if you manage to put the 3 agendas that you are able to see on the screen, our children will be really, really very safe. So the very, very first one, we will say that we set digital ground rules for the family. And we believe there's no family. Each and every family has its own rule and regulation. There's no any family that is run minus rules. So those here we are talking of now digital roles. And then the next agenda that we are going to talk about is discover and manage family-friendly content. So that is whereby we'll consider which are these content that as family, we really want our children to know. And lastly, which is very important, is protect your family online, privacy and security. And we shall take you through on how you are able to protect your family when they are online. So the very first, allow me to go through the first objective, which is set the digital ground rules. And just as the way I say is that our families are different. And therefore, my rules may not be your rules, but it is good for you to have them in such a way that your child or your children will be always safe when they are at home. And we'll also make them understand. When we are setting this rule, we are supposed to be making them also understand the rules that we have set for them. So what kind of ground rules do you currently set for your family? I think maybe you take some 5 minutes just through the chat section, not even 5, let's take 2 minutes. Just take a 2 minutes, and on the chat box, just set the rules that you would really want. How would you want it to be? Digital rules, how would you want them to be in your house? Because once you have this one, and especially for the young parents, once you have these ones and your children grow knowing that this is what mommy wants, this is what daddy wants, I believe they always love us, and they will always not go against what you have set. And also, when you are doing this, don't be so authoritative. Let it be like a kind of a discussion. Yeah, let it be kind of a discussion with you and your children. So as I'm speaking, I'm just giving you time. How would you want it to do it? So that this one will be able to help them. When they know this, we'll be able them to know how to navigate on digital space or how to behave when they are on the digital space. So some option for digital rules, I think I have 3 of them here, which can help you as a parent. So when you really take on this one can really help you as a parent to set the rule. So like we can say, you can, the 3 that I've decided to choose is like the screen time. So when I talk of the screen time, how long would you want your children to be with the screen? When I mean the screen, it's not necessarily the phones or the laptops, even watching the TVs. So that is the time whereby you need to create the screen time, and then the kind of the information you share. That is also very important. Let them know which type of kind of information that they are supposed to share and the way they behave when they're online. So family values, because sometimes sometimes you may see a child post something on the screen which does not really sound well, and you're like, which type of family this child is coming from. So when we take these 3 into consideration, we will be able to be safe, or our children will be able to be safe when they are online. So the very, very first time we have talked about is the screen time. And I just want to pose a question. How do you currently approach screen time with your children? Yeah, how do you currently approach your screen time with your children? And also I will ask, are you good with the screen time yourself? Because if you're not good with the screen time with yourself, you as a person, it will be very, very difficult for you to help your child to approach the screen time. So how do you normally approach your screen time? So that is a thought, food for the thought as we proceed with our discussion. So one of the things is we really need to balance our screen time. Just as the way I did say is that internet is here to stay, and we have to really embrace internet, because not everything that we find in the internet is bad. So what I will want to say here is screen time has its drawbacks, those are the negative impact, and it also has its merits. Like you'll find during this particular time, one of the merits that will say that the screen time was able to help our children continue with the learning. The teacher will give them the assignment and you will see them doing it. Another thing we'll say that during this particular time, the screen time to us as a family will enable us to connect or to have some Zoom meeting, whereby we'll be able to know how the family is faring, despite that we were, especially during the lockdown, despite that we are in different locations, but we were able to do that. And despite that, we normally say anything that has advantage must also have disadvantage. It also has this negative impact. Effect on sleep. And those who are parenting, especially those who are in my same age group, those who are parenting teenagers, you will agree with me that this is one of the drawbacks about the screen time. Effect on the screen. You find that light when they are having the screen, it tends to make their brain think that it's daytime. So they will continue being on the screen until maybe even the morning. And that's why you realize that the teenagers nowadays, most of them, you find that you'll wonder why are these teenagers? During the day, most of them are sleeping. That is how the screen has impacted their lives negatively. Another one, spending less time with others or outdoor. And this one, you'll find that it is very true. You find that initially kids will go play a lot of time. But you'll find nowadays, even a small kid as early as age of 3 years, this kid is focus on the screen, cartoon, to an extent that the child just starts speaking as those particular cartoon. And remember, those cartoon, not all of them are good. And that's why as we proceed, you will really know how we can filter. Not all these cartoons are good, because you'll find your child say some words, you wonder where the child has gotten them from. It was just from, those are some of the effect of the child being on the screen 24/7. So we want to introduce family links. So when we talk of family links here, this one will be posted there, and this Google has come up with a child's account, whereby you can have those particular, when you're using your phone or the Chrome tab, you can set the digital ground rules that works for your family. So that is what we just want to know more about. So when we talk of family links, these are links that will enable you to, when you maybe after this presentation, maybe you can you can go and click on the adult links and learn more. So what we are trying just to show you here is how to adjust control. So how do you do this? This is maybe how you can link your device with your child's device. And those are the procedures whereby you can find, you have been given there. Remember, it's not allowed for children under the 13 years. Under that, it means from 13 years, Google take those particular children as age of accountability. They can have their email account. But a child under the age of 13, it is that one will be breaking their policy. Is not supposed to be having their accounts. So that's why we want to show you how we can adjust and make sure that our children are on safe. So if you just check that procedure number 1, how to create a Google account for your child, what you're supposed to be doing to download the Google family link for your child. It's well projected there, and then opening the app. So here, set up the family link. So once you've already created the account for your child, it's always good to set up the family links. So when we set up the family links, what I mean is that you adjust the settings, whereby the app will prompt the caretaker, which is you, to sign in using their email account and address password. After that, you as a person will be prompted to download the family link for the parent to their own devices. So you will download it into your device. At the same time, it's on the device of your child. And then the parent will be prompted to activate the family link manager. So once you saw that, why are you being prompted to activate the family link manager? This one is done so that you are able to monitor your child does. So we talk about keeping an eye on your child's screen. This is very, very important. It is very, very important, and these are some of the features that I will want to tell you. Immediately you follow that procedure, it will help you know. This one will help you manage the apps your kid is using. Because once your device, maybe the laptop you have given them at home, they're doing it for studies, is connected to your phone, then you will be able to know what your child is doing, and then temporarily lock your child devices at different times. So this one is where, when I talk of this, maybe sometimes they don't want disturbance. So you will have already indicated that this particular time, that particular device should be going off. So even as much as they tried to and open it, they will be unable. And you'll also be able to control it remotely where you are. So that is very, very important for us. So that is, I think I've said about now that what you can see on the screen is just giving you the procedure, keeping an eye on your kid's screen. What are you supposed to be doing after logging in? It is just showing you how you will use the particular procedure, what you are supposed to be doing to keep an eye on your child during screen time. So I want us to let us talk how would you talk to your child about your screen time? Yeah, because you tell what I will tell you, not just wake up in the morning and just tell her, bring that device here. This is what I'm going to do. You'll really find it rough, and they will rebel. So it should be subjected to discussion. And what you're supposed to be doing is to allow time for homework, not for social media. So you should talk to them. Now, this particular time, even you have set them and tell them this particular time is time for homework in such a way that even if they go to those social media platforms, they will be unable to navigate. And then also how to keep positive relationship with the screen time. So, and this, you should also tell them that maybe when you have said, now, this is not time you're supposed to be in screen, let them not take it as a sign of punishment. I think you should sit with them and explain to them so that they should be able to know that it is not a punishment. And what do you do? I'll ask you, what do you do if your child only wants to spend time online? Yeah, so those are some of the things. And as per me, you will really want to tell her it's not even ethical being online throughout. And it's also because there are some effects, negative effects. And that's why you find that most of the children nowadays at a very younger age, they have started putting on specs because most of the time they are online. So discuss with your family about said. This is one thing that you should really be able to do that. And you should also be able to tell them time, how being on the screen, how does it affect them? That is the very much very important. And also how to control their screen time. And the first thing we are going to talk about is sharing. So when we talk of sharing, this is now what we term as digital footprint. It's just like the normal footprint. Where you step, you leave a footprint. Where you step, you leave a footprint. So, in other words, when I talk of sharing, what you share, that is what I mean as digital footprint. What they share might cost them at a later time. So they should be very keen and let them know the importance of they should not overshare. So maybe I would ask you now, just freely, can you think of any negative consequences of sharing online as given your children? Is there any negative consequences? Yeah, so I will just request you to go to this chat box and be able to find out if there's any negative consequences that has given to your children when they're online. Yeah, I take a pause.
Yeah, so
yes.
as our audience continue to fill in on the comment section, so we do recall that during this live session, we'll also be creating certificates for those who have attended. So on the comment section, I will add a link whereby you will share your name and the email whereby we share that certificate. So make sure you write your full name and the email that we share that certificate to. Also, there will be another second form that I will share on the comment section, a feedback form. Please fill in all the details. Yeah, thank you. Madam Clarice, you can continue.
Okay, thank you very much. It is very important for you to fill those particular forms for our feedback to know how they train. You know, so it's always good to rate the presenters and how you're finding the presentation. So don't really shy from filling the form. And also, I think Joseph has mentioned, it's one of our moderators, he has mentioned that there will be a certificate that will be provided at the end of the training. So please just stay tuned. It is very important. just to appreciate you for being with us for that particular 1 hour. Thank you. So I was talking about, when we talk of sharing, when some of the things that might arise is invasion of privacy, social comparison, and digital footprint. Yeah, and those are some of the things that we really want to our children not to fall into the trap. So we have around settings expected around sharing. So which settings we expect you around do during your when you are trying to impact knowledge on our children on sharing. So one thing is teach them about their digital footprint, and this is very important and for the teenagers, because you'll find that there are some universities that immediately you apply, especially those who maybe go for private university. You don't. They'll ask you, give them your social, maybe your your social account. Give them the name, and then they'll just go and search. And once they search, they'll find something that does not please them, because as we did say, each and every community have its policy. So if they see that you have trend of posting something that does not please them, you'll just find them telling you that the chance is not there. But in real sense, you are qualified, but just because of what you are really posted. Also help them minimize social comparison. What do I mean by social comparison? Social comparison, and this might affect especially the teenagers. We should be able to tell them, don't see that, you see like Clarice posts pictures every day, she's in this place, that is exactly what Clarice is. No, that is not. What we post, there's also the other side of it. So we should try and remind them that everybody has a boring, sad, and embarrassing moment that they don't post. Like me, you'll never find me posting when I'm so much annoyed. If you go to my post, you'll always see how this lady is doing well. So those are some of the things that we should tell them to avoid comparison. Teach them about oversharing. Not that anything that they come across on any social platform or any group they're in, maybe it's a Google group, maybe it's in WhatsApp group, and you just find it and you are just Mr. or Mrs. forwarding. Anything you find, you don't even know the content. By the time, because remember with the internet, just a click of it. By the time you are realizing, you will have realized you have posted something, maybe even they might have even posted into a group where their teacher was. And now is how the teacher will now be looking at our children. So let us teach them before they just get maybe post and start forwarding, or which is not right. Another disadvantages of oversharing, you want something very important, but because people know that you are fond of person that forwards everything, people will just pass. So that is also very important. And then establish your family values online around harassment and bullying. When we talk of harassment, when we should be able to show them maybe not to be those people that harass people on the online platforms. Those are what we term as bullying. And also, as we do that, we should also be able to talk to them in case they are bullied, they're able to talk to us. And also another thing, we should be able to do this when we are setting our expectation around sharing. We talk about the means behind someone's words and encourage positivity. What do we mean? Because sometimes I may say on the social platform, just as joke, look at you. But the way the person is going to read it, it will portray another picture. So we try and encourage them to be upstander by not trying to check on the negative side of what people are posting on their social platform. So we are going to talk about the family values, and I think we did talk about this. When we talk of family values, this is how to try and make sure that the digital age are safe, because to avoid the issue of sharing things that maybe you as a family, you will not want such things to be seen online. Yeah, so those are some of the things that we're going to talk when we talk about the family values. So when we talk, we want to talk about the how to establish family values online. And the three things are very clear. Be clear about how you expect them to act when they are online. That is one thing. Talk to them about online harassment and talk about the power of positive message online. So that is, those are the family values that we should impact on them. We have to just be straight to the point. This is what okay, this gadget I cannot deny you. Maybe you are a high schooler, you are doing it with your gadget. I cannot deny you. So, but this is what I really need. This is how you're supposed to be behaving when you are online. I don't need you to be a buller. That is, talk to them about harassment. I don't need you to be bullied, and I also don't need you to be a buller. And lastly, talk about the power of positive message. And that's what I was talking of. Talk to them to be upstander in case they realize somebody is trying to bully one of their friends, or they try to counteract it with a positive speech. So, is there any question? Yeah, is there any question? So I believe if all moderators can tell us if there are any questions so that we can handle them. So we shall.
Thank you. Okay, thanks, Madam Clarice. Kindly, so on the Discover Family content, Madam Grace now will continue. I think now on her side everything is okay. Yeah, so let me add her so that now she can continue.
No problem. Yeah, problem. Just.
Well, good afternoon. Sorry, I was having some issues earlier on. I think we should just go right ahead and discuss how we are going to discover, or how you as a parent are going to discover family-friendly content on the internet. Now, I'll start by asking a question. What kind of content are your children exposed to online? Have you ever gone through, maybe on the comment section, you can try and answer this. What type of content, or what kind of content are your children exposed to? Do you look at what it is they go through? Have you ever seen what your children interact with? Because this is on the internet, there are so many things, but as your kids, as a parent, have you ever been interested to know what your kids are exposed to? So on the comment section, please, I'll request you answer that for me. As I'm waiting for that, I'll continue here. Now, being that the kids are exposed to a lot of stuff online, how do you as a parent regulate this? Now, the first thing you can do is you can have a content restriction. Now, with Google, there is a content restriction setting in where you can create a safe search, where whatever it is the kids are going to search, it is somewhat blocked, such that they cannot engage, in terms of they cannot see things that they're not supposed to do. You can whitelist or blacklist some sites. Now, with blacklisting is the same as blocking. Blacklisting them, you block the sites such that the kids cannot access. Whitelisting, you can also set up filters for web browsing, and you turn off the safe search on and off with the family link. Now, how do you go about that? When it comes to Google, you go to the settings, and depending on the apps, you can select one of them, and then now you go to the settings, as you can see on screen, and then you choose on the safe search. Now, you either block explicit sites with the safe search directly on the browser. So the safe search will help you filter explicit content out of search results. So even if they were to search using the keywords, if whatever is being displayed on screen is explicit, when the safe search is on, it won't be it won't be shown. So when the safe search is on, it will help block explicit images, videos, website from the Google search results. Now, how to turn off safe search? You go to set the settings, and then you go to search settings. Under the safe search filters, check the box, and then you click save at the bottom of the page. Now, the same is applied on YouTube. Since the videos are there, you can go and use the restricted mode. This is an additional setting which can be enabled on YouTube, whether on the website or on the app. Once it's enabled, it's going to filter out mature or objectionable content. Once this is on, it will help you restrict what your kids are using. So even if you were to give them your phone or your laptop, once they go to the YouTube site, as long as the restricted mode is on, they're not going to be able to view mature content. How you go about that? You go to your YouTube app, you click to your you navigate to your account settings, and then under that you toggle between restricted mode being on or off. Now, the other thing is that you can have YouTube Kids. This is a site where it's very kid friendly. This is where you're going to find here. You have parent approved content. You can set time limits. Clarice talked about screen time, so YouTube Kids can help you do that. It can block or flag mature content. The best thing is that you can review your watch history, and once you're using that, you can be able to control what it is your kids are viewing or are doing online. Now, another app or another useful tool is a Read Along. This is a speech-based reading app designed to help, mostly primary grade kids to learn to read anytime, anywhere, just using their voice. Now, the best thing is that it encourages the kids to read aloud, making it a very engaging way of learning and reading. There is an in-app reading buddy, that is Dia or Divya. It provides positive reinforcement and gives suggestions where they did not read correctly. So you're looking at having um, on the app, when the kid when your child reads and maybe they pronounce it wrongly, the app will recognize that the pronunciation is wrong, and there's positive reinforcement and also suggestions. It will just like be you or a teacher is there with them. Once you've downloaded the app, it can work completely offline. So now, how does it work? It has three sections where we have the animated personal tutor. It's going to help your child in each and every step of the way, reading. For each word, it's going to be highlighted. If you read it correctly, it's also there is a color coded in terms of how they're reading. Should they get it right, stars are awarded. We have the library of stories, so you're looking at tons and tons of stories in multiple languages. If you also want your kid to learn different languages, they're there, of which they are also available offline after download. And then, as your kid is reading or as your child is reading, they can earn badges, they can earn stars or rewards as they are reading and they are playing. Now you find that this is positive motivation. As kids are learning, the stars, the awards, it helps them. Now, the best thing is that with read along, it helps you to learn how to read in terms of we are using the magic of your voice. So not only are they hearing themselves, even with the pronunciation, they can differentiate between the system and theirs. So it's going to be fun for them. Yes, please, on the chat section, how do you protect your family from negative? The first thing you can do start a conversation in terms of discussing with whether they are teenage or they're below teenage years. You can start a conversation as to what you, being the parent, term as negative content. You can tell them to, once they search on something, you can tell them to think about it in terms of what has been displayed so that they can think before you click. And then, if possible, you can supervise. Be there when they're using the internet. Be there, be around them somewhere where you can see what it is you're doing so that you can protect them from viewing mature content. Now, up until there, I'd ask if anyone has a question. I would ask if anyone has a question. Okay. Well, let's continue. Now, aside from learning the digital, what Clarice was talking about, digital content, finding family secure or family appropriate content, we also have to learn how to protect our family in terms of the security and the privacy. So now I'll ask, as a parent, what is the most popular social platform or social media platform for your kids? On the comment section, please, could you answer that on the comment section? The most common. Now, this is as we are waiting. I can see your as you are listing them down. We have UNICEF said that there's increased use of mobile devices and greater access to broadband internet that has made children more accessible than ever through unprotected social media platforms and online games forums. Now, I'll bring your attention to what just happened this previous week, where we have around 7 16-year-olds who got lured out of their houses, and they were able to go missing for around 2 or 3 days. Well, thankfully they were found, and they said they were just bored. But how do we curb such an occurrence not to happen again? Because you're looking at, these are girls underage; they can be influenced by anyone. How do we do that? So, how do you prevent from stranger danger? How do you prevent from identity fraud? How do you prevent cyberbullying? Now, we have the common rule that we give to our kids, but now this one mostly, if you're a parent, you'll agree, only applies to kids who are young. Where yeah, there are those ones, you tell them if you don't know them, don't talk to them, and if anybody tries to pull you, you just try yelling stranger danger. I don't know how that will work in this internet craze phase where we are. Kids are on Instagram, they're on TikTok, they're on Facebook, and then they meet up, they chat. How do you differentiate a friend from a stranger? How do you prevent somebody from stealing your identity? How do you even prevent your kid from being bullied? Remember, some of these sites you don't even know when they are accessing them. So, one, let's look at stranger danger. How do you groom your kids in terms of their online presence? One, if you see the following with your kid, please um, try to find out who it is they're talking to. One, they might be secretive about who it is they're talking to online. They might be using sexual language that you wouldn't expect them to know. So your child is using a language or words that you wouldn't expect them to be knowing at that age. Or whenever you step into a room, they either switch off or they switch screens when you come near to the computer. Be very, very keen once you see such type of behavior, because your kid might be talking to somebody that you don't know, and the person is influencing your child to do or to engage in activities that they're not age appropriate. So now, how do you start a conversation? I'd give an example here where you just start out of the blue, where you start out. I read a story about an adult pretending to be a child online. Have any of your friends experienced anything similar? Remember, when it comes to human dynamics or relationships, the best way or the one way you can engage with a person is trying to relate to them. So you don't want to sound intrusive, but you want them to relate in such a way that you're not quarreling with them, you're not degrading them, or you're not trying to demand for them to explain. You just want them to tell it as if they were telling a story. So for you, you can come and start up a conversation, and you see what it is they would want, or which is they're talking about. If they don't, once you give that opening line and maybe they don't tell you what is happening, you can talk about the risk, least about, you can even give a story of how, they became friends and then, he was lured out of the house and something nasty happened. Well, if you use, it depends with how you know your kid. You can instill the fear of God with them by giving them a story, by talking about the risk. Now, this is a hypothetical situation. If that would work with your child, then you can go for it. If they give you a story and maybe they can relate, now it's when you create a friendly environment and you start agreeing on the rules. Like if you're going to meet someone, either you have a friend or me with you, depending on how liberal again your family values are. You can allow them supervise meeting up with people or just agree or not meeting up with anyone. Another thing is that happy getting them or having them engage you in terms of whatever it is they're doing online. Another thing we can prevent or you as a parent can try is the privacy and the identity fraud. Now, how do you know that your child? How do you know? How do you know that your child or your own account has is being or somebody is using it? The one thing you can look for, you might be getting a bill for something you've not ordered. You can get emails, or the child can get emails from organizations they don't recognize, or you're getting letters from governments saying that you have some tax payments or benefits, or even the fake news that we have, the one that is very common about Safaricom giving away phones or mobile data. Now, once you see such things, right, you can try and find out, have they shared personal information for which your address might be compromised or their own safety might be compromised. Try and engage your kids. Now, for you, how would you, as a parent, these are the steps you would do to protect your child from identity theft. The first one is you check their online settings, the privacy settings. Who are they talking to, or how is it? Are the settings, or who is it that they're talking to? Check the device settings also. Find out who's there and who you're talking about. If you can take action and go incognito in that you try and find out who it is, where it is, in terms of who has access and try. So one, you can enable, the best thing is that with the apps nowadays, you can enable privacy settings across. So on YouTube, they're there. Facebook, you can set who sees what where, who am I posting it to, who can even send you a friend request. On Snapchat, you can see who can contact you, who can view my story. Even on WhatsApp, the same case with TikTok. TikTok is now coming up. There's so many people on it, and as a child, in as much as you want them to use the internet, in as much as you want them to be tech savvy, you also have to try and protect them. Now, when it comes to YouTube, if they are a frequenter or they have a channel, you can try to enable the privacy settings. So you go to your app, you click on the profile picture, you open your menu. On the home tab, you select your settings, and then out there you can change your name and you can change your profile settings. Remember, you're not doing all this to try and to try and limit them, but you try and protect them. Once you do that, or you can go to the videos, you tap on the video or settings, and then once you select the media next to the video, you edit, and then you tap to privacy. So you can select who do you want to see. Is it you or just your subscribers, or is it open to the public? Another thing you can do is you talk to your kids about setting strong passwords. Uh, for you to have a strong password, it has to be unique. Once it's unique, nobody can try and use it to hack or crack your personal information or your child's personal information. please make it longer and make it memorable in such a way that you won't forget or the kid won't forget. Use letters, a combination of letters, symbols, numbers, and emphasize on them not using common words or personal information. Now, I don't know if Clarice is still in. I'd like for her to continue here. Is Clarice there? Okay, I can see she's not there. We'll continue once she's there. I'll just hand over to her. The other thing you can try and protect your kid from is cyberbullying. We call them these are bullies that are using the keyboard. You cannot see them, but they're using words that are very harsh. Now, out of a search or out of a research that was conducted, 47% of the kids that were interviewed, they reported to have experienced some form of digital harassment. Now, for you, what do you think of cyberbullying? How is it different from other forms of bullying? I don't know if you've ever experienced this. You as an adult. So if you as an adult have experienced cyberbullying, how is it with your kid, and how do you even get? How is it different from the physical bullying that is experienced in school? Now, for face-to-face bullying, there is a smaller audience, so only those ones who are around. So you're looking at either if it was at a corridor or maybe in the class, just those ones. So the ones who are in view, and you can identify the bully, which is even possible to be punished and to prove. But when it comes to cyberbullying, remember they're doing it over the internet. So one, it's going to reach a very large audience within no time. Hurtful comments can be shared, even images can be shared multiple times. There is the offering of the degree of anonymity in terms of the predator, the perpetrator, the person who's doing this. They can do it, and you cannot know who it is or how to track them. That's making it even difficult for the police to punish them. Now, are you familiar with? I'll pose this question. I can see that time is not on our side, but I'll allow me as we continue here. I can pose this question. Are you familiar with the following terms in terms of harassment, outing, trolling, bans, roasting, griefing? I don't know if you've heard of them and what each of them mean. Okay, I can see a comment. Okay. I don't know if you have an idea of what it is. If you do, so you can there are different. You've heard of roasting where people uh, make fun of each other, but it can go overboard. There's also trolling or the bans that are done, briefing, outing, or harassment. Please be sure, or please try and look out what your kids are doing. You're trying to protect them. Now, what to look for if you suspect that your child is being bullied? One, they might stop using the electronic devices suddenly or unexpectedly because they don't want to see, let's say, maybe a picture of them being trolled or a video of them being roasted was posted. So they would want to try and distance themselves. Another thing, they would seem nervous or jumpy whenever they're using their devices, or they become obsessive about being constantly online because they want to know what is happening or what has been said by who, what, where. So you'd see them change in terms of their behavior. And if this thing happened in terms of school, they will be very reluctant to go to school or partake in a social activity. Once you see this, try and have a conversation about bullying. If you want to know how, please find out why uh, why it happened or what happened. Try to talk it through. Give an example if possible, and then try and help them to learn from it. As a parent, one thing I'll I'll ask you or I'll urge you. One, don't try to get upset. Don't ignore it. Don't say it's going to blow over. Try to, if they're the ones who are perpetrating it or it has been done to them, try to talk about it. Don't try and also condone it. And don't make matters worse by taking away their devices. Talk it out with them. They can listen. Now, ask a question. What are some of the ways that you would bring up bullying with your children? What are some of the way? Um, what are some of the way that you would bring up bullying with your children? I don't know if you have a say. You can put it in, and don't forget we're giving out certificates for this. So sign up. There's a form that is on the comment section. Please click on it and get to work with it. So some of the ways, how would you bring up bullying with your children? How would you talk it out with your children? Remember, as I said, different families have different values, so it all depends with you and how you talk it out with your family. Try to engage with them about bullying, trying to engage them about what happens online, limit what it is that they're exposed to, as Clarice was saying, set up screen time, come up with ways and means of ensuring security. And the best thing is that right now I can give you some resources if you want to explore more. You have the safety.google. So look through what Google says in terms of helping children be smart, confident explorers online. It's all there at the Safety Center. We have Internet Awesome. So we are looking at how to be smart, how to be alert, how to be strong, how to be kind, and how to be brave. So being smart means sharing with care. Being alert means don't fall for fake. Being strong means securing your secrets. Being kind, yeah, it's cool to be kind. And then when in doubt, talk it out. That means you're brave. So that's Be Internet Awesome. So we have the Be Internet Awesome with Google in terms of they have their site. So you have the child site and you have the parent site. If you can, please click on it, get to learn, read through. We say information is power. Please go through it. Another thing is that there's a digital well-being of family guide. So this was created to help you talk about technology with your family. Well, we're looking at productive conversations and help you identify healthy habits that would work for you and your whole family. So go through wellbeing.google/families/determine. That's going to help you. And then a few tips in terms of how to engage your child. Start talking it early, start talking it often. Don't say once we reach a certain age, that's when you're going to start talking about it. No, start early, talk it often, and then choose the right time. I'm pretty sure even for you, there's some subjects or some situations you don't want to talk it out. Choose the right time, maybe once you've gone for a outing or when you're having family time. And then you can open up and share in terms of giving your own personal experiences or friends. Just give stories and open up. Remember, a person talks to you more if they relate to you more. And then the final thing, create a safe space. Create a space where your kids can come and tell you whatever it is they're going through. If you want to have more resources, we have the Google Digital Wellbeing Guide, we have YouTube Kids, we have the Family Link, we have the Google Phishing Quiz. If you're having all that, if you want to know more, you can just go there. And then have this one I'll ask, we have the feedback form. Please, you can tell us what was your key takeaway from this session. And I'll appreciate if you want to learn more. Um, we have the Kenyan one. We have, if you want to learn more about the child line, we have the hotline number 116. You can call it. If not that, you can go to Google safety. That is safety.google. And then we have the Child Online Protection Initiative. Please go through that and learn more. So for more information, you can see that. You can contact us at Sote Hub. Right now, I'll throw it back to our moderator. Clarice, you have anything to add? Hello,
Okay.
Clarice.
Thank you very much,
Thank.
Grace. That was awesome presentation. Yes, thank you very much, Grace. I'm saying that was an awesome presentation. And I will just urge the parents that what we have really presented, please put them into consideration. And also, when we talk about internet awesome, that link is very important. You have to be brave, be alert, be strong, be kind, and also be able to be alert. So when you put on all those 5 key things, you will be good to go. Thank you very much. Back to you, Marcella.
Thank you very much, Clarice and Grace. That was a very educative presentation on how to keep our family safe online. And I hope the parents will take responsibility and be the upstanders and supporters of their kids and what they look online. So let's keep spreading the word on the online safety to our kids. Meanwhile, I would love to maybe remind you of filling the feedback form, or rather even the certificate form that is going on onto our channels, onto our YouTube site and our Facebook site. You can get them there. So keep spreading the word of being online safety, and let's meet again tomorrow, same time from 4 p.m. to 5 p.m. Thank you very much. Bye.
Okay, thanks a lot,
Bye.
Marcella. Before we leave the meeting, I think Marcella just forgot something a bit. So we as Sote Hub, we are also providing Google for Education. So let me quickly share that poster with you. So we are providing Google for Education for schools in Kenya. So we are partners with Google. So if you have a school, or if you know any school that want this package, kindly please contact us at info@sotehub.com for more information. Thank you.